Sarah felt his eyes on her. Not in a meeting, no, in the elevator, alone, except for Mr. Grayson. His gaze lingered too long, a cold weight on her back. She shifted uncomfortably, the silence amplifying her unease. Work had been stressful lately, deadlines looming, but this felt different. Mr. Grayson was always distant, his office door a barrier. Now he seemed to be everywhere, his presence suffocating. His voice, a low murmur, startled her. "Working late again, Miss Miller?" She mumbled a yes, clutching her bag tighter. The elevator doors opened, a welcome escape, but the feeling of being watched lingered, a prickle on her skin. Days turned into weeks, the feeling intensified. Files she swore she'd left on her desk were rearranged overnight. Once she found her chair turned towards the empty office, a silent accusation. Mr. Grayson was always there. At the coffee machine, his eyes met hers in the reflection. Passing her cubicle, he'd pause, a shadow looming. He never said anything, just watched. Whispers started among colleagues. Mr. Grayson's eccentricities were well known. But this was different. Sarah felt a chill, realizing she wasn't imagining it. He was watching her, studying her. Sleep offered no escape. Nightmares plagued her, Mr. Grayson's eyes boring into her soul. She woke up in a cold sweat, the line between dream and reality blurring. She couldn't take it anymore. The constant scrutiny, the feeling of being hunted. This job, once promising, had become a prison. One morning she made up her mind. She would resign. Her hands shook as she typed the letter. Relief washed over her, followed by a chilling thought. What if leaving wasn't enough? What if his gaze followed her, even outside these walls? 2 weeks later, Sarah sat in a cafe, sunlight streaming through the window. She had a new job, a fresh start. Taking a sip of coffee, she tried to ignore the unease that clung to her. A shadow fell over her table. She looked up, her blood turning to ice. Mr. Grayson stood there, a thin smile playing on his lips. "Leaving without saying goodbye, Miss Miller?" That wasn't very polite. His voice was soft, but it sent shivers down her spine. "How did you?" she stammered, her heart pounding. "Oh, I know more than you think," he said, leaning closer. "I know you like your coffee with 2 sugars and a splash of cream. I know you live at 14 Maple Street, apartment 3B, and I know—" He paused, his eyes burning into hers, "that you should never underestimate Mr. Grayson."